Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
Okay, now you can see 30 is 58,343, sorry, 483, like that. So now what we can do, I can just say unknown data of salary is equal to SRS underscore salary. Okay, now you can see unknown data, it is populated. So now we have the known data and then unknown data, right? Okay, so we can just concatenate it actually. So now we have the known data and then unknown data. Okay, now we have, like we can say, combined, and then I can just try pd.concat of known data first and then unknown data. So access is not required because we are going to concatenate the rows. Okay, now if you do combine dot shape, you can see it's 41 records now, and then we can just say combined dot to CSV of salary underscore updated dot CSV. So now if you go to that particular CSV file, you can see the data for everything. Okay, I have to say index is equal to false. I forgot that. Okay, so I have to say index is equal to false. So now you can see the output. See here, for 3.5 years of experience till 2.5 years of experience. You have the salary for all the values now. Okay, so this is how you can plot it. Sorry, you can predict the salary for this thing. Okay, so let me just copy it and then please try it out. So guys, clear, right, everyone? The predict for test data. So guys, any doubts in this?
Um, this is like 82%. If I want to achieve 90% and I want to feed more, right? As
Yes,
a
we
training, I
have
can
to
actually
provide
repeat this
more data
process,
actually. Yes,
more
yes,
data.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, exactly. But like if you get 80% with respect to linear regression, right? That is great, actually,
Okay.
because it will not match most of the data points, right? It's just a straight line. So wherever you
Mhm.
draw the straight line, there will be miss. Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am, done.
Yeah. Done. So what about others?
Done.
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 Right. Okay. Done. Yeah. So next one we are going to talk about. Oh, I created in this folder itself. Is it? That's fine. So I will copy that. So now I'm just saying multiple linear regression. Okay, so let me just copy the import statement because we are going to import the same set of libraries. Okay, so we are not going to include anything special over here. So here we are going to just include Seaborn library, Seaborn as SB. So what data file that we are going to use is 1000 movies data. Okay, we are going to use 1000 movies data. Let me just close this. So which has the details of 1,000 movies, like how it has progressed, okay, like rank, title, genre, description of the movie, who is the director and who is the actor, okay, who are the actors, and which year it got released, and what is the duration of the movie in minutes, then what is the rating which is provided, and what is the oath that has been given, and then what is the revenue, and then what is the metascore. Okay, so like this is taken from IMDb, that is International Movie Database. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to predict the rating, okay, based on several features. That several features is x features. Okay, we will be using single feature, we might be using multiple features like that. Okay, so that is dynamic. Let's take it like that. That's a dynamic one. Okay, so now let me just load this particular file. Okay, let me just load this particular file. So what we can just say is load the movies data, so I can say movies underscore data is equal to pd dot read underscore csv, or dot slash data underscore files slash, okay, what is the file name? I think by 1,000 underscore movies underscore data dot csv. Okay, so I can write 1,000 underscore movies underscore data dot csv. Okay, so now we can say movies data dot shape, it will be 1,000. And if you want to see the columns, you can just say movies underscore data dot columns, like, okay. Now what we can do is we are just checking, okay, like is there any missing data, like is there any null column. Okay, check whether is there any missing data. So what we can write, movies underscore data is null dot sum. We have seen this already, right? Now you can see revenue millions is 128 and the metascore is 64. So if you want to populate this particular value, you have to say dot fill NA, or else you have to use that method fill or fill, something like that, or else some average of all things can be populated. But like what we are going to do is we are just going to drop it. Okay, so movies data dot drop NA, and then I can say in place is equal to true. So now the size will be reduced to this, like 838 records we have, which is fine, which is absolutely fine. Okay, so now after dropping, again we are checking this so that we will not be having any missing data at all. Now what is our next step? We have to find, okay, we have to find the feature, okay, like which feature needs to be considered not to predict the movie rating. Okay, so for that, right, we have two different ways, that is identify the features to predict the movie rating. Okay, I can just say movies data dot core, that is it will find the correlation between all the possible fields. Okay, so now you can see here, so if you see diagonally, okay, it's nothing but rank versus rank, year versus year, runtime versus runtime, like that. If you see diagonally, okay, if you see diagonally, it is like that, rank versus rank, year versus year, runtime versus runtime, like that. And then if you see now we need to find the rating, right? So you can see, like if you do with runtime minutes, nothing but 37%, like 0.37 is a correlation. And then if you do with oats, it's nothing but 0.51. If you do with revenue millions, it's nothing but 21. And if you do with metascore, it's nothing but 67. So metascore and rating are correlated, like very well related basically. All right. So now you can see there is some negative correlation between some parameters like year and rank, and then year and something like that. That is rating and year. There are some negative correlations. Okay, that is negative linear relationship between those particular parameters actually. Okay, and if you want to see it visually, so this is based on some numbers, right? If you want to see visually, what you can do is you can just say do pair plot. Okay, from Seaborn library, you can do pair plot. That is whatever data that is mentioned over here, okay, whatever columns that are mentioned over here, that will be plotted. Okay, so you can see here. Okay, so each and every feature will be mapped against each other. Okay, so yeah, now you can see. Now if you consider rating, where is this? Yeah, rating is over here. Now if you consider rating versus Metascore, now you can see it is in a linear relationship. You can see that's why the correlation is more. You can see over here like 0.67. The correlation is more. Whenever you say rating versus Metascore, okay, you can see something is in linear fashion. Okay, that's why the correlation is more. Okay, so and then over here you can see some linear fashion here as well, like where, like let's say votes. Okay, votes versus, what is this? Votes versus revenue. Okay, let's see votes versus revenue. Votes versus revenue. See here 0.63, because that is in the linear relationship now. Linear relationship. Okay, so using this particular pair plot, you can easily identify the feature that has to be considered. Okay, so these two are the ways in order to predict the feature, like in order to select the features, in order to predict it. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to split it. Okay, the thing is, in our previous example, what we did, we just used the slicing, right? That is, we just use like first 20 records for training purpose and the last 10 records for testing purpose, like that. So, but over here, what we are going to do is we are going to use some other method. Okay, like from sklearn dot model underscore selection import, okay, train underscore test underscore split. So there is some inbuilt method called train test split. Okay, so using this method, we can easily split it, that data set into training and test. But whenever you do slicing, what is happening? You are splitting the data set sequentially, like the first 20 for training, the last 10 for testing, like that. But using train test split, you can't do like that. Okay, so like you can just mention the percentage. Okay, so split the data set into training and test using train test split. Now what can I do is I can say train data comma test data is equal to train test split, okay, of movies data, and then I can just give like test size is equal to 0.2. 0.2 means 20% of data. Yeah, sorry, somebody wants
Mohan, I didn't understand one thing.
Mhm.
Why did we do that correlation plot? Is it because to identify the input for the model, or
Yeah, yes, to identify the input features, yes.
so whichever
Actually,
has highest correlation, they'll be considered, is it?
yes, 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 yes. See, we will be seeing, okay, so we will be taking all these features like runtime minutes, ports, revenue millions, Metascore. So you can see the accuracy now. Okay, so
Okay.
we will be taking all the features separately, and then we'll be taking the combination also. Okay,
Okay. Okay. Fine.
you can see the difference in the accuracy. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So now what we are doing here is train test split of movies data, comma test size is equal to 0.2. Okay. So now what will happen in this case? Let's see. See train data dot shape and then test data dot shape. Okay, and then let me just print train data. Okay, train data dot head of one. Head of one gives everything, right? Let me just give just a rank. Okay, and similarly let me give test data dot head of one, and then I'm just selecting rank. Okay, so let's say dot values. So now you can see training data takes some 670 records and test data takes some 168 records, because I have given the split percentage as 20%. Okay, so now what is the number of data that we have? 838, correct? So 838.2 is nothing but 168. Okay, so 168 records. Okay, 168 records for testing, and the remaining 80% data goes to 670, that is training. Okay, so now why did I print this? That is, we are just printing only one particular column, like rank, and then this thing that is in train data and then test data. So now whenever I execute, you can see different data is being picked. See here, now it is 723 291 and 476 793. So this is what happens. Okay, whenever you split using train test split, okay, it takes the data set randomly. So it is not sequential. 670 records are not sequential, and this 168 records are not sequential. It will take 168 records out of 838 records, but we don't know what the record will be picked. So for that, what we can do is we have some parameter. Okay, we have some parameter called random state. Random state. So we can give any values over here. It's like a seed. It's like a random seed. Okay, whenever you set this particular value, it does some calculation implicitly, and whenever you set like 42, it will always pick the same data again and again if you run the same particular model for any number of times. Okay, see here. Now, what is this? 907 239. If I run it again, it will pick the same data set, 907 239. If I run it again, 907 239. It will not change the data set. Okay, that has to be selected for training and test when you set random state. It's like a seed, random seed. You are setting it. So based on this particular value, it applies some calculations implicitly and it will select some data. For example, if I say 10, you can see the different data. But if I execute next time, I'll be getting the same thing. See, 190, 951.
This is as good as in a sequential way, right? The way we with the
yes,
index. Okay.
Yes. But still it is not sequential at all. Okay, that is the same amount of the same set of data will be selected for training and test all the times, so that your model will be constant always. Okay, so the model will not get, sorry.
So when we have to use this, when we should consider this?
No. Mostly, if you see any model, they will be using train test split only, because it is very difficult to use slicing. Okay, that is for small. Yeah.
The random state variable when we should be using.
That is, if you want the same set of data, that is same data set needs to be selected for training and test. Okay, whenever you run the model.
So if the same data set I mean, if we are using the same data set always, then still the slope and the y-intercept value will be identified. The same value only will be calculated.
Exactly. But if you are not setting this random state, right, that slope and y-intercept will be changed. Depends on the data set that you selected.
Okay.
Got it?
So then so in that case also, this is a kind of improvising our
Model.
fitting.
Yes.
So we need to try
Exactly.
with different state, and we just need to capture what was the best fit. So
Yes. You can do that that way also.
okay.
And also you can increase the percentage also over here. Like,
Huh.
see, now it is just 20%. I can give 90% to test, and then 90% to train, and then 10% to test. Like that I can give it. Got it? See, now 754 data for training and 84 data for testing. Got it, right? So
Okay.
guys, clear with this? Guys, everyone clear with this?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, so please take it down, and then we'll continue with the next one.
Mohan, one question. Do we have a real world usage for this linear regression? Or is it just like a hello world of ML?
No, this is not hello world. So linear regression, see, linear regression is just the form. Okay, simple linear regression is just the format. Okay, so on top of it, we have something called polynomial regression also.
Polynomial, yes.
Yeah, okay,
So in the industry, we'll be using them, or?
yes. So like for weather forecasting, we can say for sales forecast. Okay, the thing is, this is a basic model basically. Like the thing is, it can be used with deep learning model also. Okay, so linear regression is a basic model. Okay, even if you go to deep learning, okay, so there also we have linear regression. The thing is, over in deep learning, we will be going with several iterations, not only with single iteration like in machine learning.
Yes.
Got it? So that's the difference.
Yeah.
So if you go to several iterations, right, what will happen? Obviously, it will increase the accuracy. Correct? Yeah.
And for finding that correlation, is it the only method we use always for any type of algorithm when we go?
Sorry, come again.
To find that correlation method.
Yes. For any type of algorithms, yes. This is the one which is from data frame, right?
Okay.
So this is
So
a
is
data
that
frame .corr.
okay. So this is
It's a
the
method.
only.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Now, is this the only? This is the only library that provides the way for finding the correlation, or we can have other? We have other libraries also.
We can find. This is the only way. Like from data frame, we can easily find it. Actually, like we have some methods also for that. Actually.
Okay. So there is no accuracy on that. What is the trust we have that on this is the so with this is a major decision making point, right? So this is the feature that we are with the
Exactly.
So what is the trust percentage that we have with this method, that correlation values we are getting?
No. Trusted we can have no problem at all. Because if you see over here and here, it implies the same thing, right? Okay, see here, like if you see this rating versus metascore, you can see something in linear fashion. And then if you see rating versus year, this is nothing but year, yeah. So this is not in linear fashion at all. Okay, so and if you just see rating versus year, it's in negative correlation. Okay, so we can trust this, no problem at all. See, this is just a wrapper. The thing is, like, see, this might be calling internally a lot of methods now to calculate these values. Okay, so implicitly this might be calling n number of methods basically. Okay, if you go to this pandas library and if you see the particular code for this particular correlation, right, you can find it out. Okay, but that will not be visible, I think. Okay, so like if you are using in PyCharm, you can easily find it out actually. So like what are the methods that is being used implicitly in pandas library itself. Okay, so we can trust this, no problem at all. Okay.
One more question.
Yeah.
I think it was around 1,000 rows, right? So when you did
Yes.
dot read CSV, how is it it's happening that quick? Or is it a lazy reading, or how is it?
It is not lazy reading because it is reading all the records at once, right? So I think we had discussed yesterday itself this point, no? That is
It's all C++.
something like no, this is not in C++. This is completely in pandas. I think that is it might be using implicitly. It might be using that. Okay, so for that, like we'll be having the PYD file. No, it's all pre-compiled one. See, that is whenever
that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever I say read CSV, it is from pandas library. Okay, so like now if you go to that pandas library, did we see yesterday? I think we saw yesterday for this one, I think, right? NumPy library. So, lib site packages, then pandas. Okay, so you can see somewhere over here basically like if you go to core, we'll be having so many things. Okay, so I think should be over here. So init file is where the execution starts. Okay, so and from here all these particular module will be downloaded. See here, there is something like these are all dependencies module, and then yeah. So core.api, io.api. So it's somewhere over be there. See, for example, if you are using this one, right, PyCharm, right, you can easily find it. Like it will directly go to that particular file.
Yeah.
Okay, you directly go to that particular file actually. So this is series. Let me do one thing. 1 second. PyCharm has that feature member. Jupyter Notebook.
Go to that method. Correct.
Feature. Yeah. So like if you just press Control and then if you click right, it will directly go to that method.
Yeah, control point. Correct.
So
I
Mohan,
prefer
what is
PyCharm
correlation?
always. Sorry.
No, you continue. I'll ask.
Yeah. So I prefer PyCharm only always. So here in this we can see all the functions basically. Okay, I need to refresh August 2020 and then in this data files. So create.
Well, since when are you practicing this ML?
ML, if you take from the last 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
Yeah.
You did some masters or? Did you do some masters or is it self-learned?
Self-learning plus certification. I'm preparing for that actually, so that it will be better for me, right?
Yeah. Easily marketable.
Yes. I'm preparing for certification also.
Okay.
Just a minute.
Yeah, self-learning basically you used Kaggle and all those things, or?
No, DataCamp.
Okay.
Towards data science.
Towards
and
data science.
Medium. Medium.com.
To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 3D99 plan and grow your skills immensely.
Okay, so and machine learning mastery. So there are a lot of things. So basically, first I will prefer the modules. Like if you go to pypi.org, or that particular module, we have the official documentation itself.
Correct.
Okay, so I prefer that one first, and if I need any more explanation, right? Okay, so then I can go to that.
Okay.
See, now let me just say import pandas as PD. Okay, and then I'm just saying PD dot read underscore CSV 1000 movies data.csv. So now if I just place the cursor over here and if I press control, it will go to that particular one. Okay, see,
Okay.
it is inside parsers, like site packages, pandas, IO, parsers.io. Okay. So what is happening over here? Like there is some class called appender.
Appender. Okay.
Yeah. So you need to go to that appender. Yeah, this is a class basically, and it is in underscore decorators. So now, yeah, and then you have something over here. So it is keep on going, something like that. See, this function will be called. Okay, call function will be called whenever you do that. Okay.
Okay.
So this one
Is it
like
something
add
like
and down. Yes, it's a callable one.
Callable? Callable.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's threaded, maybe that's why it is fast.
Yeah, might be. Okay. So this is nothing but for that read CSV. And you were asking something, right? Like let's say now let me say this is like data is equal to something. Okay, and then if I say data.for, okay, and then if I say here the method is equal to Pearson correlation.
Okay.
So we can give any one of these, like Pearson. That is, we can just pass this particular parameter, either Kendall or Spearman. Okay, so these are all the available parameters basically, and then and it returns a data frame. Yes, that's right. And then see here, this is calling another this thing. Okay, see, if method is equal to this, then call this. If method is equal to this, then call this. If method is equal to this, then call this.
So we need to do the trial and error passing the different values.
Yes. Okay, see, in
and this
Python you
correlation
can do.
only for the correlation. It is happening only for the columns with the number values. It is just ignoring the columns
it will
with
take only the number values. Actually, it will take only the number values. Okay, it will take only for number columns basically by default.
Yeah.
Okay, so now if I say method is equal to Kendall, right? Let me see. You can see the values. See, now the meta score has been changed. Just 51 it is giving. So best is Pearson, that is the basic is Pearson. So now if you see Metascore rating is 51, that's it. And then what is the other one? Spearman. Yeah, it has 69 now. So it has more. Okay, so if you do any method, Metascore has lots. The largest correlation between the rating. Okay. Yeah. So that's why. So I prefer PyCharm, but with respect to machine learning, data analytics, and all, right, I prefer Jupyter Notebook only. The thing is, here we can't execute the part of the code that is in this, but in Spider we can execute. Okay, and in see here I can't just select this and then I can execute it actually. So that is the problem over here. But here also you can create Jupyter Notebook. Okay, here also you can create Jupyter Notebook basically. The thing is, okay, so for that you have to install PyCharm Professional Edition. So this is Community Edition, which is a freeware. Okay, so there is something called professional edition. So over there you can create Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so we have two different versions of PyCharm basically. Okay, so if you want to if you want to write Jupyter Notebook, you have to purchase a license, but that is not at all required. So anyways, we have Jupyter Notebook separately as a freeware. Then why it is required? Okay, so guys, clear?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. So if you want to find the code for that, right? So PyCharm is the better place to find it. Okay. So guys, is it done so far?
Please enroll our general membership for $399 plan to get access of all the parts.
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $399 plan and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.